So, my big sister made me her maid of honor, but then totally humiliated me by sticking me at the kids' table. Here's how it all went down. My sister, who's 34, and her new hubby, 36, got hitched about 3 months ago. I'm 30 and super pumped to be her maid of honor. Since I wasn't working at the time and she's a busy doctor, I took on most of the wedding planning. Let me tell you, it was a ton of work, especially since she didn't hire a wedding planner. It was all on me. The months leading up to the wedding were brutal. She treated me like her personal slave just because she was the bride. I seriously contemplated backing out so many times, but I kept telling myself to suck it up and keep the peace. She was probably just stressed, right? Oh, and get this. She refused to invite my fiancé, even though we've been together for 12 years. Meanwhile, she invited my siblings' partners who've only been around for like 2, 3 years. She said she didn't want people asking about my wedding, which everyone's been bugging us to have for a while now. I told her I wouldn't do any more wedding stuff until she invited my fiancé. She did, but her apology was so half-hearted. Whatever, I was hurt because she wasn't even thankful for all the hard work I'd put into her dream wedding. Then, the day of the wedding finally arrived. The ceremony was beautiful, and the couple looked happy. I was feeling pretty good too, until we got to the reception. That's when I realized my fiancé and I were seated at this table far away from my family, right beside the kitchen. I assumed it was a mistake and went to ask my sister. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Nope, that's where you belong, at the kids' table." We were sitting with kids aged 7 to 14. Her new hubby agreed it was weird but didn't speak up because my sister gave him that "don't you dare" look. At the end of the night, the groom apologized to my parents for the seating fiasco, but didn't say a word to me because my sister told him not to. Trying to make the best of it, my fiancé and I decided to just enjoy the rest of the night, but I refused to give the maid of honor speech. My parents saw where I was sitting and were super upset. My siblings? Not so much. They didn't even notice I wasn't at their table. When they found out I wasn't giving a speech, my brothers came over and told me I was being selfish and that I needed to understand the stress my sister was under. Seriously? I was like, I've been quiet in my little corner and you think I'm making this about me. So we left and ended up at McDonald's for dinner. I posted a story of us getting burgers and wrote something like post-wedding meal. I waited until the reception was over to post it so it wouldn't seem like we ditched, but my siblings still saw it as some sort of attack on my sister. Fast forward to now, my sister still thinks she did nothing wrong. Her reasons for seating me there? She said I didn't plan her wedding exactly how she envisioned it, even though I did everything she asked. She didn't like that I looked pretty in my gown, and she wanted to punish me for insisting my fiancé come. She even banned me from getting married before her because she's older, and I agreed just to avoid drama. Now, planning my own wedding is a whole thing. I only want my parents and a few close friends there. My siblings are calling me childish for not inviting them, but I don't care. It's a destination wedding, and my fiancé and I are paying for everything. I don't feel like splurging on people who didn't give a damn about me at my sister's wedding. Even my grandparents and cousins are saying I'm in the wrong, but seriously, if I was excluded at my sister's wedding and no one cared, why should they be upset if I exclude them now? To answer some questions, I come from a family of 5. My sisters, 34 and 32, are super close, as are my younger brothers, 26 and 22. I'm the middle child and often felt left out. I thought being the maid of honor would bring me closer to my sister. I always jump at any chance to connect with them, but it's more about feeling left out than being a doormat. I was a sickly child and spent a lot of time with my parents, which apparently made my siblings envious. So there's that. Anyway, that's my story. Sucks, but it is what it is. So here's the deal. We both got called Mo, because she couldn't pick just one of us. I later figured out that I was pretty much the backup Mo, doing all the work while the other Mo got all the kudos. In hindsight, I probably should have seen that coming. Meanwhile, my brothers were on my case about the Mo speech, and guess what? My sister was busy giving her own Mo speech, going on about how much she loves the bride and would do anything for her. Yeah, all that crap. She even had the nerve to call all the siblings to the stage for a toast while I was basically in tears, trying to escape my brothers. Other relatives saw me making a scene and thought I was just being dramatic. This isn't the first time she's hurt me, though. As a kid, she fat-shamed me, called me a potato, and said I was a burden to the family because of my epilepsy. She even ruined my makeup because I moved her bath towel and called me the stupid low IQ sister, even though I'm a licensed architect with a master's degree. She messed up my dream of getting married in my favorite church, so my fiancé suggested a destination wedding instead, which was sweet. She's done so many spiteful things, but this one was the worst, and we haven't spoken since. She still blames me for ruining everything because I got upset about the seating. Now, for the update, we're going to elope with just us and a few close friends who've been there from the start. We're planning a small church wedding followed by a beach celebration in the Philippines with our chosen family. We'll go island hopping with our party, all expenses covered by us. The budget for an Italy wedding will now fund a 5-day intimate celebration on a Philippine island. When we get back, we'll have a lunch reception with both our big families, about 80 guests max. Our parents will cover the costs for this lunch, so they can invite whoever they want. I won't care if my siblings are invited because I'll be too busy enjoying myself with my husband. Picture this: a long, winding table like in Mamma Mia, where my siblings can sit as far from me as possible, near the restrooms, while we'll be in the center with my fiancé, his brothers, and our parents. I'm so over my siblings. I feel more for a stranger on the street than I do for them now. They've hurt me too many times for me to care. And get this, my sister expects to be my Mo in return. Nope, not happening. My siblings won't be at the ceremony, so I don't need her around. She might come to the reception, but I'll make sure she's sidelined just like I was. She's pregnant, due in June, which works perfectly since that's when we wanted our wedding. If she brings her newborn, she'll be stuck at the kiddie table and can step out whenever the baby cries. In the end, our wedding day is for us. Eloping feels like the only way to really enjoy it without all the family drama. We'll come back and have a lunch with good food and fun, and that's it for me, a lunch. Luckily, my fiancé's family isn't as crazy as mine. Thanks for all your messages and support. I was feeling a bit loco, thinking I was overreacting, but your insights helped a lot. Cheers to ending this emotionally draining year. For all of you wondering if I'm inviting my siblings to the party, they're only coming to the lunch, which is 2 weeks after the wedding. Whatever drama they bring, they'll just look bad. I'll be too busy having fun with pizza and wine by then. And yeah, my parents were really supportive. They did their best to be fair, so no blame on them. I didn't have many friends growing up because of my health, but my mom was my best friend. The real jealousy kicked in during our 20s for some reason. Here's the latest. Wedding planning with my husband has been amazing. Seriously, if you're getting married, go for a small wedding. It's less stressful. We told everyone we were pushing back the wedding for a destination trip, but we secretly got married on that trip. We arrived at Boracay 3 days early to chill, then did all the fun island stuff with our friends. The night before the wedding, we told everyone to dress up for breakfast and take cute pics. Then we surprised them by announcing the wedding was happening that evening. The excitement from our friends was unforgettable. Us girls did each other's hair and makeup, cried, hugged, while the boys had a blast. Best day ever. So we were drinking and playing football, passing around our phones and an old digital camera for event photos. Surprises were our thing since we started dating, and it was super sweet that we both planned surprises for our wedding too. I absolutely love flowers, but I didn't want the hassle of finding a supplier. We did have someone help with all the essentials, but that was pretty much it. I figured I'd just grab some flowers for the luncheon. Well, my husband secretly talked to the hotel and surprised me. He knew my favorite flowers and put together the prettiest bouquet ever. He even had the church filled with them, and I totally ruined my makeup with ugly crying when I walked in. For my husband, who's super close with his brothers, I flew them out as a surprise because he needed his best men there. Watching his face light up was priceless. We said our vows and headed to the hotel for a beachside dinner, where we had a bottle fight. Google it. It's awesome. Nothing fancy, but we were happy. Before the luncheon, I sent my seating plan to our family group chat to avoid any drama on the day. Everyone thought these were the seating plans for our reception. Here comes my petty moment. My head table included us, our parents, and my husband's brothers. All my siblings were at the furthest ends of the long table. My favorite move was setting up a single table way in the back, near the breastfeeding area, with my sister's name on the chair. She was pissed, but I just played it off like I was being considerate of her privacy. No hard feelings, right? My siblings refused to come, calling our elopement disrespectful, especially since my brothers-in-law were there. They even called other relatives to boycott the wedding. Some were upset with me, but guess what? Out of 127 invitees, only 58 showed up. So I slashed my budget by over half. Sounds like a win to me. The venue was my husband's small family farm, which was so beautiful that decor was a non-issue. For music, we just used a Spotify playlist we made. Friends handled the photos for the prenup shoot, the beach, and lunch. My mom and I baked the cake 2 nights before. I bought and arranged flowers from the morning market with my friends. My wedding dress? Just something I already had in my closet. For food, we asked guests to bring potluck dishes instead of gifts. We kept a pizza oven, pretzel cart, and coffee bar for variety, ditching the caterer. We designed e-invites and emailed them out. My siblings didn't want to attend, except my bridezilla sister, who got an invite but no +1. Her C-section was scheduled a week before my wedding, and yes, I planned it that way. She noticed, and let's just say, she wasn't pleased. The day was magical. Our joy seemed to bother my siblings more than anything, but I've realized that the more someone tries to force their opinions, the more toxic and unhinged they seem. I didn't need to go no contact with them. They decided to cut ties with me. It was honestly a blessing. For those blaming my parents, know that none of my siblings were neglected. They're grown adults, and my parents are seniors who did their best. They even told my siblings off for their behavior, but there's only so much they can do. Instead of pitching in for the wedding, my parents gave us a down payment on a house. To thank them, we surprised them with a 1-week vacation to Maui. We saved so much on the wedding and luncheon that it felt great to show our appreciation. Extra food and flowers were taken home by guests or donated, making everything even more special. Weddings are about love, and our favorite people were there to celebrate with us. We also celebrated the love we have for them, including our best friends and dogs, who totally stole the show. I'm living a life of peace and indifference towards my siblings now. I have no idea what they're up to as they kicked me out of the group chat. I only know my sister gave birth because my brother-in-law messaged me. They're still bad-mouthing my husband, but we genuinely don't care. We've moved on, and it sucks for them if they haven't. Thanks for following along. It's been empowering to know I'm not alone and enlightening to find out that this kind of sibling drama isn't normal. This is your kitty table maid of honor, signing off.